So with the official release of Sakamoto Days, it brings new creativity and a unique way for you to build your deck. So today, we'll be bringing you a Sakamoto Days yellow deck profile so that you can use as a baseline to build your deck. As always, remember to like, subscribe, and comment down below. We'll love to hear your thoughts. And so without further ado, let's get right into it. Alright guys, so getting right into the deck profile, we're running a hybrid version of the deck. We think that the Sakamoto Store Pure version is also really good, but this is the version we chose to run, and this is like where we leaned more towards because we feel it's the more powerful version of the two. So we're gonna just go over the numbers that we chose to run, and then we'll explain card choices and why we chose that over certain other cards. So let's just get right into it. Starting with 4 of the 0-drop high skate, 4 of the Shin, and 4 of the Shin Searcher. These are all pretty standard, I feel. Then we're running 2 of the 1-drop Sakamoto. This is the winner card if you go to events. This is the winner Sakamoto, so we're running 2 of that. We're running 4 of the 2-drop high skate, and 4 of your pseudo 0-drop, which is also your color trigger. Then we chose to run 3 of the high skate 3-drop and 3 of the step Sakamoto. These are really good cards, and we'll get into why we cut one later. Of course, we're running 4 finals, 4 of your Shin Boss Monster, and then we chose to run 2 of what we call Fat Sakamoto. And then you got 4 of your Skinny Sakamoto, 4 of your Shin Special, and of course 4 of your high skate Boss Monster. So pretty standard for anybody who's building the deck. I feel like everybody would probably build their deck just like this. There are some choices that I'm sure people would disagree with, so let's get into why we chose that. A lot of people are splitting this into 2-2 with the draw trigger or the Lu, that's an active trigger. While we don't disagree with that, we like this and running 4 of it. Yes, it's a non-trigger, but it's a 2K, so it's early aggression. And this gets your boss monster online. Sometimes you're missing that, one face-up card somewhere, and this kind of gets you online. We've played so many games where we saw this card, and it was the reason we won using this. Because we were able to get impact online and kill the game. So we chose to run 4 of this. We know people do split it, but this is our choice for that. Another different choice is some people chose to cut this completely and maybe run the impact negate, which again, we don't hate, but this gives you early aggression. It's kind of like the 1-drop Ray from Yellow Girls. Same thing. It just buffs itself to 3K, and it gets kind of like over all those Kenshin aggros and stuff. Or, putting a 3K Kenshin to prevent you doing damage. This is kind of that. Now, 4 of this high skate. Some people run 3, some people run 2, some people don't run it at all. We chose to run 4 just for consistency. We saw that every time we see this on our turn 2, we basically get this online, and this online faster. So that's the only reason we chose to run 4 of this, consistency, of course. These need no explanation, or this one doesn't. I think the only thing that does need explanation is why we chose to run 3 and 3 of this. Because we wanted to incorporate this, we had to cut somewhere, and this is where the cuts were made. If anything, I would probably bring this card up to 4 and cut 1 final. In this deck, you don't need final as much. It does help, and if you see it sometimes, it's like kind of like an extra AP draw, but it's really not that necessary. So if we cut 1 of these, we would probably go up 1 of these. That would be our other choice. Now, in place of this Sakamoto here, some people are running the Lu, which I'll pull up on screen right now. That one. Some people are choosing to run that Lu. And she's triggerless, but she does make your opponent interact with her, because if you have 3 store names, which you always will, you always have a Shin, a Sakamoto, and then she counts herself. you'll basically be able to swing over a 4K. They can't block you, and she'll draw a card. It's a very amazing card. It is. It's just the no trigger kind of like brings your non-triggers up to 10, and then if you include finals, up to 13. So that's not really good. Whereas in this Sakamoto here, he has the raid trigger, right? He's nullify impact, which is really good for late game. We all know that late game nullify impact is just amazing. And then his effect is insane. He can protect your Shin, he can protect your Heisuke. You know, he can even protect this Sakamoto that's protecting this Shin or like anything else that you need protected. So really good Sakamoto. And then he's just a free block if he comes off a life. Insane. He's insanely good. Then this needs no explanation, and then this. Why we chose to run this over the Sakamoto special everybody's running is because the Sakamoto special forces you to have Sakamoto on board. Now this, if you have Shin on board, yes, it reduces the AP cost by 1. But if you don't have Shin and you need to kill a 5K, right, it'll do that without Shin being on board. You'll just have to pay the 2 AP cost because it just says straight kill a 5K. Whereas in the Sakamoto one says you can only kill a 3K or less, I believe, or a 2K or less, unless you have Sakamoto on board. So that's the only reason we chose to go with this. Other than that, it's up to player choice whether you want to run the Sakamoto special or the Shin special. We just chose to go with the Shin because it's guaranteed 5 or less, even if we don't have a Shin on board. That's it. And so yeah, that's the deck profile. We feel that Sakamoto is gonna be really strong going into the meta, only because like yellow deck, so you have the best color trigger in the game essentially, and you have snipe now in a yellow deck. So it's very unique, and then being able to buff your cards up and seeing your opponent's life and their hand to further plan like what you're gonna do is just absolutely insane. And then you can't sleep on this Sakamoto because being able to bring out a body for free is also really nice. So the deck is very diverse in what it could do, and it has so much plays that it could do. We feel like it does take a good pilot to run the deck, so that's something. If you plan on playing this, especially for Florida coming up, you might want to pick this deck up now and start practicing as much as possible. And so yeah, that's our thoughts on the deck. So yeah, that's the deck profile on Yellow Sakamoto. We hope you guys enjoy, and again, remember to like, subscribe, comment down below. We love to hear your thoughts. We love to see if you guys chose to run something else over that, and tell us the reason why. Also, if you're going to Florida, we'll be there. Feel free to come up to us, say hi. We always enjoy hearing from you guys because, of course, your love and support is the only way we can continue to do this. And so, till next time, this is Explosive Chris, out.